Hello and welcome to all. Sitting in the middle of the Tour de France, this stage is a key moment in the race for the yellow jersey. With two ascents of the Mont Ventoux, the giant of Provence will be both the major attraction and the major difficulty of the day. However, the summit will not mark the finish of this stage, and it will require qualities as a descender to cross the finishing line as winner.
Guys, you're going to have to climb Mont Ventoux by two different sides. The first ascent shouldn't be the decider because it's less steep, but it should definitely tire the peloton out. Good luck. The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The breakaway has 30 seconds lead. The breakaway can't widen the gap. The first classified climb for the mountains classification carries a fourth category label. The first at the top scores 1 point. The time gap between the peloton and the escapees is stationary. The next King of the Mountains summit is ranked as a third category. Only the first two riders over the top will score points towards the best climber classification. One and a half minutes for the breakaway. It might just work. The gap with the pink jersey is melting away. The escapees will find it hard to go all the way.
I feel pretty good. I don't have sore legs in the car. The front of the race is 2 kilometers from the summit.
The feed zone is approaching for the front of the race. The time to load up on what's necessary to face 2 climbs of Mont Ventoux. The front of the race is now going through the village of Salt. The first climb of the Mont Ventoux will begin soon. The first ascent of the Giant of Provence is now underway for the front of the race. The climb along the eastern flank is longer, but it's also less steep. The average gradient is not much more than 5%. The riders would only hit slopes of over 7% after reaching the Chalet Reynard. The head of the race has a 1 minute and 30-second lead on the pink jersey. The pink jersey group is 1 minute from the head of the race. The breakaway has climbed to the Chalet Reynard. The slope will become much steeper, with percentages far higher than on the first part of the ascent.
From the summit.
The gap with the pink jersey is melting away. The escapees will find it hard to go all the way.
Okay, I'll consume a feed. Okay, I'm coming to protect you.
The breakaway increases its lead on the pink jersey group.
The time gap with the head of the race isn't changing, lads.
The first riders are at the foot of the descent and are now going through Malocène, the town that hosts the finish. They will then head towards Bédouin for the second ascent of Mont Ventoux. The head of the race has a 1 minute and 30-second lead on the pink jersey. The riders up front have a 1-minute lead on the favourites group.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The front of the race has reached the business end of the stage. It has just gone through the Saint-Estève bend. From now, the slope will regularly rise above 10%.
The time gap with the head of the race isn't changing, lad. Okay, I'll consume a feed. He's still got something in the tank. He's putting his foot down in the relays. Okay, I'll put in a big acceleration.
The first have reached the Chalet Reynard. It will be a little less hard on them for 1 kilometre, the time they catch their breath before facing the final and ever steeper slopes of the Mont Ventoux. The observatory is in sight for the head of the race. 3 more kilometres of climbing for the head of the race. Anyone who wants to avoid a sprint finish will have to edge clear before reaching the top of Mont Ventoux.
You seem to be the best climber in the group. You should be able to move to the front.
And the descent is on. Another 22 kilometres for the lead group. Only 20 kilometres to go before the finish in Malocène.
For the mountain classification, you're the best placed in the breakaway. Only 5 kilometers left. Go, go, again!
final kilometre of this stage.
It is the red pennant. 1 more kilometre of effort.
The podium is good, but I was expecting more from you. We should have won.
We retain the pink jersey. It's today's source of comfort.